All right, let's talk about Stranger Things. If you are like me and you watch Stranger Things season 5, you probably have some burning questions. I probably have the same burning questions as you, so let's talk about it. As you know, Stranger Things has literally been out for 10 years or so. I remember I was in high school, like beginning high school when it first came out. So it's been quite a while. It's been quite a ride, you know? It's been really interesting. I wish they had some type of callback at the ending to like Eggo waffles or something, like how they did in the season 1, but they didn't, and that's okay. If you have not seen the ending of Stranger Things 5, this video should be saved and you should come back to it later. I have five burning questions that I hope that you can answer for me, and hopefully I can answer for you. Let's break this down. Question number 1, where is Susie? I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she's off in some town somewhere and she's found a new Dustin, or maybe she's by herself, kind of like how Lucas's sister ended up, you know, she's very smart. She doesn't need a partner-ish or a pairing, kind of like how TV shows just pair people together just to pair them together. Maybe Susie's rocking and rolling by herself, smart as hell, somewhere. I wish she made a comeback, or I wish she showed up to the graduation to like hear Dustin. That kind of just ended an empty plot hole, which I was like, it's not the most important part of the story, but I feel like that would have been nice to wrap up, you know? Speaking of missing people, where's Vicky? You know, it's been 18 months since the ending and the final battle. What happened with Vicky? Her and Robin, are they still together? I don't know. Vicky's missing, Susie's missing, where's the military? That's another question that happened in my head as I was watching. I was like, what happened to the military? Where's that lady who was hunting Elle? Did they let them go? What happened to the charges? You know, like what's going on there? Also, Hopper is now the sheriff again, and I just didn't know how that worked with everything that they did and trespassing and breaking the law several times and murdering soldiers, multiple soldiers, at multiple points throughout the series. So I just don't know how that works out. But magically, if they're cleared of all charges, that wouldn't be the craziest thing we've heard of today. Question number 2. Who was that guy in the cave? I don't know if I missed it or something was explained and I didn't see it in the show, but who was that guy in the cave? How did he get that briefcase? Why was he being chased by a young Vecna, Henry? And what happened there? Did anyone come looking for him? Why couldn't Vecna, Henry, go into that cave? Maybe he was just traumatized. Like that was the moment where everything, you know, happened for him. But I just wanted to know more about that. My theory though, is that the guy with the briefcase, maybe that was his lab. In the lab that Nancy and Jonathan and Dustin and Harrington all toured. I wonder if that guy with the briefcase was a scientist in that lab, you know? And when they said the nuclear like breakdown or breaker or whatever, you know how the building was starting to melt a little bit? I wonder if that scientist was a part of that lab who was trying to run away, and then maybe he met Vecna in that instance. That's my theory. But my question, who was that guy with the briefcase? Let me know. Did you have that same question? Question number 3. Do you think Elle is still alive? That's a general question. Do you think that Mike's story is plausible and actually could have been true? Now I'm asking you this, and I'm asking you to consider the details when the gang is like pressed up against the truck, right? Military's got them, they're all worried, and Elle somehow disappears. Mike's, believe it or not, story was Elle escaped because her sister created an illusion. She was able to escape that way. My question though, they had those large like sono like machines. I don't think Mike's story is all that plausible because of those machines. How could Elle have stood up when the entire season 5, whenever those sound machines started really ramping up, she could not move? Who knows? Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I just don't think it's plausible. I want to believe that Elle is still alive, but I also want to believe in the truth that she sacrificed herself to make sure everything and everybody was safe. Question number 5. This isn't really a question, but a statement. Do you love David Bowie? I love David Bowie. And in the ending of the series, I loved how the end credits were a David Bowie song. And that's kind of what my ending for that was. I love how they chose Prince to blow up the Upside Down. But I love even more how they chose David Bowie to end out the series in the credits. Just my personal opinion, I love David Bowie so much. So my question to you, do you also love David Bowie? And what's your favorite David Bowie song? That's a hard one to answer. Overall, if I had to give a rating for this Stranger Things ending, I think I would rate the Stranger Things season 5 ending a strong 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I loved how they wrapped it up. I liked how they ended the last frame on Mike. I liked how he was the storyteller and he became a writer at the end. But there were some plot holes where I was like, okay, this doesn't make sense. For example, when they were fighting the last monster at the very end, the gang had to run up this giant hill, this giant like boulder. They had to start throwing fire at the giant monster at the end. My question, another plot hole, how did they get up there so fast? You know, did they sprint? Did they jump? I know it's just a TV show, and I know it's just all fun. I know it's nobody should take it that seriously, but for some people who like paying attention to those types of details, that's what bumped it down from a 9 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10 for me. Let me know, did you like the Stranger Things season finale? I liked it personally. It was nostalgic and again, it was a nice ending to a years-long series that many of us grew up with. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you next time.